Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Your girl is back. Your girl is back. Get in here, you nosy neighbors. Let's get into these show reviews. In any event, welcome back to the Operation Hill One Jar channel. We do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get all of my videos when they drop. And I know you all want to see my lovely face. You will see it tonight on Lit at 6. So make sure you're there so we can discuss all of these hot topics. Also, if you would like to donate and support the channel, there's a cash app there up on the screen, or you can definitely send me a super chat. So let's get into today's show review, which is Married to Medicine. We are on season 11, episode number 5. Okay. Okay, so let's get into some things with this. So the ladies are still at the Westgate River Ranch, and they're now headed to the photo shoot that I remember Toya was putting together and creatively directing for them to take out there on the ranch, right? And I am crying because Toya was struggling to get these old bitches in formation. She was like, "Come on, y'all gotta loosen up. Find y'all sexy. What is going on?" And they all looking like, "Bitch, we are hoes with jobs and we are stiff. We know you at home loosening your limbs and playing tennis all day. So yes, you would be able to find it sexy. As for us, we don't know where it is." So anywho, I was there cracking up laughing because Toya was like, "Come on, y'all dead ass wrong." What she did do that I liked is she enlisted some support, and she reached out to this young lady named Michelle, right? And she is actually the Beyonce tribute artist, and she was going to help her creatively direct the photo shoot. When I tell y'all, this lady has all she reminds you so much of Beyonce. Like when you look at her mannerisms, when she's dancing, when she's doing the performances, she reminds you a lot of Beyonce. So it was striking, like to see her, like, oh my goodness. So, anywho, Michelle didn't come into play. She got these ladies together. She was like, listen, let's get in formation. What are you wearing? What are you doing? Take that off, pull that back, open your legs, close your legs, look sexy, squint. She was not playing with them, right? So, honey, Contessa was okay, girl. So then they asked for Heavily and Sweet Tea to pose together. And when I tell y'all, Heavily and Sweet Tea look like mother and daughter. Heavily and Sweet Tea look like mother and fucking daughter, right? So the whole cast is all tensed up because they like, Toya, you need to leave this alone. You trying to force this interaction, and we don't think it's gonna work, right? So anywho, they showed back in Atlanta when the men went to and they showed the men and the kids. Oh my God, I love this part of the episode. I fell in love with this part of the episode. The only part that was bittersweet for me is knowing that Mr. G wouldn't be Mr. G, you hear me? Dr. G would not be a part of this package because naturally he has no children. But anywho, they show Dr. Eugene and he's taking his boys to make their own sense. Oh my God, Pookie and I did this. Pookie and I did this in the summer. Shout out to Old Factory. It's a place in New York where you can go and make your own like perfume, body butter, all of that. It's so nice, right? You put your little scents together based off what you choose. And it is actually really fun. We went there on a date night, right? As a matter of fact, I still have some of my perfume that I made. Pookie used all of it. So, anywho, Dr. Eugene is talking about like how his son Avery happens to be the youngest. I didn't know that Avery was younger than Ashton. He looks older than him. But anywho, he was like Avery is really into scents and all of that. And every time they go to the mall, he's like, I want to try these jasmine scents, these bergamot scents. So he was like, he can see that's what he has his eye on. So he like, well, let me dive into the interest with him since he seemed to take a liking to it, right? So what Dr. Eugene and Toya was saying in the confessional is that they was like, listen, Avery is a ladies' man. Avery is a ladies' man, and they predict in the future they gonna have some issues with Avery and these women because he love the girls. And I was looking like, I don't really know. I don't know. Again, they would know their kids better than me. I've never actually been around them or anything, and they don't even show them enough on screen for me to say they're wrong. But I think that they may be surprised. I think it might be Ashton. I think it might be Ashton. I don't know. For whatever reason, Ashton gives me, he gonna creep up from behind and they ain't gonna even see that one coming. Right. But anywho, they made their sense. And what I love the name that the boys picked for their cologne. So one of them said they wanted to name their cologne Amalfi Coast, and the other one said they wanted to name their cologne a Journey to Paradise. I said, oh, this kid's too grown. That was so cute. So anyway, next they show Cecil with his boys, and I was so fucking annoyed because I'm looking at Cecil like, why the fuck, number one, are you cooking for them? Because they're not actually really helping you. And then on top of that, why y'all even cooking? Were you supposed to be in there showing them lazy ass grown men, 21 and 25, how to clean up? Because do you not remember you and Simone just came there and cleaned their whole fucking house top to bottom and they went on about their fucking business? So I was looking at that Cecil like, Uncle Cecil, this ain't the time for them to be cooking. They need to be learning how to clean. So anyway, their sons are handsome though. I can say that Miles and Michael are handsome. It's just that Miles can sometimes give a Norbit tease. Miles can sometimes give a Norbit tease, but hey, they nice looking young men, right? So then, oh God, this is the part of the episode that really, really, I just was like, wow, 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 wow. So now you see, Dr. Combs. Dr. Combs, y'all know they call him Dr. Daddy. You see him and he's there with Alora and Zachary. And they're actually furniture shopping because Zachary is moving out of the state of Georgia and Alora is moving into her own apartment instead of living on campus in school, right? And oh, Dr. Damon is so gentle in the presence of his kids on camera. Now, I don't know if Dr. Damon turned into The Shining when the cameras is not on and he be terrorizing the household. I can't say. But on camera in the presence of his children, Dr. Damon is so freaking gentle. Like he speaks so calm and he addresses them in a manner that I could tell makes them feel comfortable. You know, I remember one time even when he was giving Alora driving lessons, like he didn't raise his voice, he didn't get upset. Like he just seems so calm, right? And let me tell y'all something. Dr. Damon looked like he could be my father's youngest brother or nephew. I'm not lying. Look at this. Look at this. My father is on the right? And in the middle, and on the left is Dr. Combs. And y'all gonna tell me that my father and Dr. Combs don't look like they could be cousins? I'm gonna leave that right up there. But anywho, in the confessional, Heavenly says that she basically feels like her and Dr. Combs spoiled their kids, and Dr. Combs was like, I don't feel that way. I disagree, right? So then it goes back to the scene with them shopping, and Dr. Damon says to Zachary, he's like, listen, I just can't believe it. It's like I remember your mom just giving birth to you. I just was changing your diapers, and now you going off to dental school, and you leaving the state of Georgia. And Heavenly and Damon got some nice looking kids. Heavenly and Damon have some nice looking kids. Zachary is very handsome and Alora is very pretty, right? And he was basically schooling him on, like, how to flourish in his career, and some ways and some tips to take life along with having a career, so you don't take things so seriously, you don't lose yourself. And Zachary shared with his dad, he was like, Dad, I think it's admirable how anytime I ever hear your patients speak about you, they always talk about how compassionate you are and how you take care of your patients and so on and so forth. And when I tell y'all, Dr. Damon fell the fuck out crying, and so did I. Dr. Damon is my father's brother. I don't give a damn what y'all say. That is my father all the way. He will back out some tears in a heartbeat. And Dr. Damon, soon as I saw that it was like a serious cry, why my ass there crying too? Dr. Damon, that was touching for a few reasons, right? Number one, it was touching because, just to see a father with his children, right? That was just a touching moment between a dad and their children, right? So that really, 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 really touched you, and to know that he feels so deeply, like, again, it's just everything I personally hear about a parenting relationship. I'm not a parent, so it was touching. And then the other part of that is, and it kind of makes me sad because it's a reminder, of how painful it can be sometimes living in this world as a fatherless child. Like, I just celebrated, and I don't want to say celebrate. Well, we did. We celebrated my dad's life. but it has been 19 years since my father passed. So seeing that moment between a father and his children, it's just a reminder that, I won't have that anymore. Even though I always tend to meet father figures and men who want to take excellent care of me and treat me good as though I'm their own daughter, it's just not the same when it's not your own dad, right? So anywho, Dr. Damon broke down crying. His kids embraced him and hugged him, and you can tell that's like a normal thing for them because they was there like, okay, dad, okay, not like, oh my God, dad, you're crying, like it shocked them. And I think it was real for him. I think it was a real moment for him, and it was a real one for me. I appreciated seeing that Dr. Damon, in that light, right? So then they click over to the confession. Heavenly, Heavenly is looking at Dr. David like, I guess. She was like, well, the kids never said they want to be just like me. And the kids never start crying when it comes to me. So hell, I think I'm about to fucking cry. I was cracking up. And that part, that whole expression that Heavenly did right there, I could honestly see that being like me and Pookie. I think that Pookie would feel the same. I think Pookie's son would feel the same about him, having those moments of thinking, being so thinking of his dad as admirable. And I think Pookie and I would have that moment because I could see the freaking, because we're having a girl. Let me tell you something. I'm predicting it. Don't play no games. Anywho, in the future, not now. Anywho, I could see her, wanting to be like, oh, my dad, my dad, my dad. And I'm looking like, I guess. But anywho, it was a cute moment. I've had some good men in my life, yada, 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 right? So anyway, back on the ranch, the ladies is calling, they checking in with their families, letting them know how the trip is going, yada, 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 right? So then they all start to head to dinner, right? And Heavenly, your work looks good. Your work looks good. If I'm not mistaken, I think Heavenly said she had a weight loss surgery, a tummy tuck, and a BBL. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what Heavenly said. I can relate because I had weight loss surgery, a colectomy, and BBL, so I can relate to Heavenly works. Look, Heavenly works. Heavenly's work looks good. Heavenly's work looks good, looks good, looks good. What looked even better, and it's something that I'm considering this, and I don't know if Heavenly actually did it, but Heavenly had on like a shirt where her stomach and her back was out, and her back looked really good. Her back looked really good. I don't know. I might be considering a back lift. I'm not sold on it. I'll keep you guys posted. But anywho, so they arrive to where they're going to have dinner at, and they just standing around having drinks at first, right? So Toya is sharing the similarities between Heavenly and Sweet Tea, mentally and physically. They just remind you of each other, blah, 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 blah. And Sweet Tea and Heavenly is both like, Toya, stop fucking playing with us. I don't remind you of this bitch. Leave me up out of it, so on and so forth. They kind of is immature and get on my nerves, but it's like, okay, whatever. We got to deal with that. So boom. Miss Chalet arrives. And I like Miss Chalet. She comes in and she does this whole Beyonce inspired performance. This girl looks, moves, talks, everything just puts you in the mind of Beyonce. It's so like striking because it's like, oh my God, right? You would really think that's B. But anywho, she did this really cute performance, so on and so forth, right? And then she went and she was standing around talking to ladies after the performance. So Dr. Jackie was like, well, girl, how you get hips like this? Because I'm gonna need me some, right? And Dr. Jackie, let me chime in here because I come from the HIP committee. Yes, you do, because girl, they will save your life. That's one thing about hips. Hips will save your life. When you ain't got no butt, no titties, no thighs. If you got a good face card, you're not addressed for your shape, and you got hips, you might can still pass for that girl. You might can still pass for that girl. Because when I used to wear my shapewear before I lost any weight, it's on properly, and I'm doll to dolltivity, I'm looking good because hips give your body a shape and a form that makes you look very sexy, right? So I can speak for the hip committee. I think every woman should have them, but I do understand it's not always the case, and no shade to the folks that don't, right? So the ladies start chiming in. They're like, well, Jackie, maybe your ass need to stop doing all of that exercise and eat you some cornbread and potatoes and collard greens and all this shit right here. So Jackie looked around and was like, well, I already know if I want to go that route because y'all been eating potatoes and collard greens and cornbread. And it looked like it went to the wrong places on some of y'all ladies, right? So Quad got in the confessional, was like, well, Jackie ain't talking about me because my cornbread, Earl, and motherfucking me went to all the right places. She might be talking about the home girl, Heavenly. I was like, well, shit. Shots fired. So then Miss Chalet comes down and she's talking to the ladies and she's like, you guys have to make sure you take care of each other and be good to each other, because this is all you have. You only get one life, so make sure you love on each other, right? So Toya that triggered her to be like, okay, well, I want to address how phony and superficial this group is being and giving out all of these empty ass apologies. Miss Chalet looked at Toya because she had already heard from Dr. Simone the day before that everything wasn't going so great. Miss Chalet looked at Toya. She looked around at the group. She said, okay, this is above my pay grade. Y'all need healing heart sessions. So y'all going to reach out to Khadijah. In the meantime, in between time, it was nice meeting y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all life. Peace. I was like, right, Miss Chalet, let them drag you into that drama. You done earned your check. Go ahead home, baby. So anywho, Toya pressed Dr. Jackie about an empty apology that she shared. Okay. I got a little confused right here, right? So they showed, I guess this was stuff that was filmed weeks prior to this episode, but they didn't show on the actual show. They just went back and rolled the beautiful being footage. And what it showed was Dr. Jackie gave Quad an apology, right? She apologized. Then she gave her a piece of paper and told her to write something on it. Now, this is where my confusion came in when they were trying to explain, because this episode was heavily edited, and bravo, y'all edited low-key poorly. So I didn't understand if Dr. Jackie was giving Quad the paper for Quad to write in what Quad is apologizing for, or if Dr. Jackie was doing what I think she was doing, which was, I'm apologizing, but I low-key don't mean none of this shit and don't really know why the fuck I'm apologizing, because I meant everything that was said about you from the group. But I'm going to give you this paper and I want you to write in what you think I should be apologizing for, and I'm going to give you the apology. That's what I think Dr. Jackie meant. And another reason why I think that, because then that goes hand in hand with what Aunt Simone was saying. She was like, Heavenly and Dr. Jackie ran to apologize to Quad, putting the band-aid on the gunshot wound. And she was like, that's the reason why she didn't apologize, meaning Simone. She was like, because it's not genuine. Everything that we said that day, we meant, and it was the truth. So what are we apologizing for her for? Y'all just apologizing to pander to her. And Simone said, I'm not doing that. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. And I respect Aunt Simone for that, right? And Dr. Jackie, another reason why I feel like that's true is because Dr. Jackie was saying to Curtis when she was talking to him on the phone, she was like, oh yeah, we going to dinner. She brought up the apologies. She was like, because Quad needs so many apologies. And I was like, so anywho, Toya was like, Dr. Jackie, you didn't mean none of that shit. You just gave Quad that apology because you don't want to smoke with her. That's all that is. And it's phony, right? And then Toya said it to Quad. She was like, a lot of those apologies came from exactly where Dr. Jackie was coming from. People just not wanting to smoke with you, right? And I told y'all, I like Toya. She's one of my favorites on the show since the first season. So anywho, Quad was like, well, how could folks not want anything with me when it was everybody attacking me? And right there in that moment, I feel like somebody in the director's chair said, and scene, because here now Quad, y'all tried to bury me. Y'all drew blood at the table, and when I didn't die then, you turned around and called me to the room to jab me some more until I bled out, until I had no more. I was hurt and I had nothing inside. I was cracking the fuck up because Toya was like, you bled out. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. That's too deep. You bled out. I was cracking up because I think the whole cast was looking at her like that. The viewers were looking at her like that, and the fucking people at the ring. Quad, why? Quad, I'm almost sure that you taught the drama fucking club in your school because, girl. So when Toya was like, you bled out, well, that's how I felt. Toya was like, okay, girl. Anywho, y'all, let's go sit down. Let's try to have dinner. We can continue this conversation, right? So in her confessional, Quad was basically saying, she was like, see, these ladies, they love to hold everybody else's feet to the fire, but then when it's time for them to take accountability, they don't know how to do that shit, right? And I kind of low-key agree with Quad because that's why I'm saying this show was edited poorly, because they kept having scenes where they're now going back to the Napa situation and saying what Quad did wrong, but then when Quad discussed her defense about the Napa situation, they keep asking Quad, why is she going backwards? I'm not going anywhere. Y'all brought that shit up. So I was confused, but I feel like a lot of things was put in different spots because of editing. So I probably did say that, but not at the moment that editing I said that. So it made the whole situation look odd. And it was odd to me because I was like, why do they keep saying to Quad she's living in the past, but they keep bringing up Napa first? So I was a little confused right there. It was annoying me, and I was low key on Quad's side, and I'm never on Quad's side, right? But like they said, I didn't understand because Quad had already went on her apology tour. So why are they talking about this? Jackie and Heavenly already apologized to Quad as well. And Auntie Simone said she's not apologizing. So I felt like everybody should have been moving on, right? So, and then Toya brought up Heavenly didn't feel like Quad had her back. And Quad said, yes, I did. When they tried to ambush Heavenly at Contessa's house that time, I had her back. I had her back. So that's not true, right? And Contessa was like, yeah, you had her back, but remember I had your back at the Crab Boyo at Heavenly House back in 2018. Remember I had your back then because I see you going to fire for motherfucking Heavenly, but you don't mind acting like you don't see when the rapid fire is being sent at me, when they were sending it at you. Remember I had your back, right? So then Sweet Tea chimed in on the side and said to Quad, she was like, and I feel like you and Heavenly ambushed me on social media. Y'all was making fun of the way I talk and yada, yada, yada. And Quad apologized, right? So then, but again, when when Sweet Tea said that to Quad, she was already answering two people, which would have been Heavenly and Contessa. So, of course, when she turned to acknowledge Sweet Tea, it was a tad bit aggressive. Her apology was a tad bit aggressive. I'm not going to say if Quad meant it or not. I will say she did apologize, right? But it was a little harsh because she was already in the midst of going back and forth, Sweet Tea. So that wasn't the time for you to say that. But okay, girl, chime in. What you got to say? So then when she apologized, Sweet Tea is like, but why are you so angry? And even Simone had to say, it's not that she's angry. It's just so much is going on right now. Move, Sweetie. Oh my God. So then they asked Sweetie if she accepted Quad's apology. And she said, yeah. Heavenly was like, that's interesting. You know how easily Sweetie could accept Quad's apology. And it wasn't interesting. It was phony. If we being fucking honest, it was phony. But anywho, Heavenly then revealed that Quad said that Contessa said that her friendship with Sweet Tea was fake because they had nothing in common other than their disdain for Heavenly. Quad, you said it. Quad, you said it. You said it. Because soon as Heavenly revealed that that's what you said, Quad, once again, you're part of the drama and theater club. So you would have hopped up. I did not say that after I bled out. You would have put on a whole fucking show for everybody to see. When Heavenly said you said that, you know what you said? Now wait a minute now. No, ain't no wait a minute. Ain't no, it's either you said it or you didn't. And that's what Contessa was saying. She was like, either you said it or you didn't. Did you say that, Quad? Did you say it? Did you say it? Did you say it? Right? So they going back and forth. Like I said, this scene was very edited heavily. So I kind of was like, wait a minute. So you said that in those moments? I'll tell you what I think happened. Quad, you lied. I'm gonna tell you what you lied about. You lied and told Heavenly that Contessa said that the friendship between her and Sweet Tea is fake when that's not what happened. You feel like the friendship between her and Sweet Tea is fake. And you told Heavenly, but instead of you telling Heavenly that's your own feelings, you told her Contessa actually said that. And Contessa was like, did you say that? She kept asking her. And he had caught, no, now wait a minute now. What I said wasn't, why are you doing all that explaining? It's either you said it or you didn't. So from there right there, I knew you was lying. I knew you was fucking lying, Paul. I knew it, right? So then Contessa is getting infuriated because she knows Heavenly likes to keep shit going, right? So she started yelling and pointing at Heavenly face like, did you say it? Who's lying? You or Quad, right? So you could see in those moments when Contessa is pointing that long ass finger, you see Heavenly getting scared. You see Heavenly getting scared because you can tell that Contessa was getting upset. So Heavenly stood up and she's like, stop pointing in my face, stop pointing in my face, and stop yelling, right? And because Heavenly is queen of the shit starter, she redirected the whole conversation. And once she stood up, she started bucking up her chest and she like, yeah, she started saying all the shit she know won't trigger Contessa, which was number one, do this shit to your husband because that's the nigga that you're really mad at. And from there, it went up on a Tuesday, right? So Contessa asks Heavenly if she thinks her husband is abusive. Contessa, why did you ask Heavenly that? Why? I want to know why. Number one on the list, Heavenly has said 50 million times since the incident took place way back when with you and your husband. She said it live. She said it to your face. She said it behind your back. She said it in confessional. She said it on YouTube. Yes. Yes, she absolutely does care. And that's the reason why y'all stopped being friends in the first place. So why did you ask her that? I'm confused. The other part that I'm confused about is Contessa, why you care? Why do you care? If Heavenly feels like your husband is abusive and you don't, why do you care? So you asking her that in the moments, it fucking irritated me, right? So now they going back and forth, and Sweet Tea is on the side saying to Heavenly, I think you're abusive. Sweet Tea, if you Heavenly looked at her and said, shut up, bitch, I'm not talking to you. And Heavenly in her mind is thinking, I'm getting ready to go to fucking war with one of the top soldiers in command. I do not have time with your stupid, immature country bumpkin ass right now, right? So Contessa said that Heavenly's only friend is her own daughter, and she had to even buy her daughter a beauty supply store to make her want to hang around with her. Other than that, she was trying to get away from her. That's why she went to school over in Florida. She said that Heavenly kids don't like her, that Dr. Damon doesn't like her. They sleep in separate bedrooms. She said Heavenly should be worried about some mixed babies out here with the last name being possibly Kimes. Contessa, I want to tell you something, Contessa, because Quad thought the same thing I did. Quad was cracking up her confessional. She was like, Contessa, where you get that shit from? Contessa, who told you that? Contessa, I know the voices in your head ain't tell you exactly. Contessa, I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? I heard you say this on an interview. You said one time on an interview that when you did reality TV the first time, that you didn't know how to play the game. But if you ever went back, that you would know this time how to play the game. So what I think happened here, Contessa, is you sat down and thought about all of the fiery things that you can say to Heavenly to either A, be on the same disgusting level that she's on when y'all beefing, and B, the things that you know that would trigger her, right? Because you know how to play the game. I don't believe any of that you know to be fact and law. I just think it's things that sound like they could make sense, and because they will also trigger Heavenly, and that was your whole plan. Because remember, you came back on reality TV knowing how to play the game. In the meantime, Heavenly was having a wardrobe malfunction, and I was cracking the fuck up because all Heavenly titties was out. She was so riled up. She didn't give a damn. She letting her fly all over the place. They all trying to cover her up. Heavenly told Contessa, huh, Sweet Tea bond is only because both of their husbands ain't shit. Now Sweet Tea is riled up. Simone is trying to calm Sweet Tea down. Take Sweet Tea off the show. Take Sweet Tea off the show. Sweet Tea is a 6-year-old. I'm sorry to say, Sweet Tea is a 6-year-old, and watching her try to coexist in this friend group, I'm not gonna lie, it's low key annoying. It's low key annoying because she comes across like a little kid having a tantrum. It just doesn't seem like she knows how to conduct herself like a grown up. I felt that way ever since the time she blurted out to Jackie, "Fuck you," or whatever. The Sweet Tea, sweet. No, absolutely not. Even just recently, I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm not gonna watch her podcast, but I did see a little snippet when she was saying what Dr. Simone said to her, and the way she comes across like a 6-year-old. And because these women are elderly, these are not no shade. These are not like 30-year-olds. These women are 50 something years old. So having Sweet Tea trying to infiltrate that friend group, I'm sorry, it's not working. Because even Contessa and Phaedra trying to team up with her, sometimes Sweet Tea says stuff and they both looking like, now what now? You know what I'm saying? So I think they should just take Sweet Tea off the show. Find somebody else who's married to medicine, right? So then Toya is like, listen, I understand y'all have all this drama going on, but can we sit down and eat, right? So apparently, somewhere along the way during the argument, Contessa called Heavenly stupid. When Contessa called stupid, Heavenly said, "Yo mama." Right? Now, Contessa mama passed away in 2010. Heavenly basically said, and she dead and stupid, pretty much the long and the short of it. Contessa lost it. She started running around the group trying to get to Heavenly, telling Heavenly, square up, ho, square up, ho. Heavenly is running around like a lunatic because she don't really want no smoke, but she still is hell bent on popping shit. Simone is like, listen, I like my job as an OBGYN. I'm not at all interested in being a bouncer, so I'm staying the fuck out of it. Toya was like, listen, I already did my due diligence. I set the first motherfucking season off throwing down with Mariah. I'm not getting this bullshit again. Dr. Jackie is having a whole meltdown to the point somebody done flung Dr. Jackie ass on the ground. Sweet Tea is there trying to pick Dr. Jackie up. Everybody is running around trying to stop Contessa for fucking going to war with Heavenly. Heavenly don't want to go to war, but Heavenly can't shut the fuck up to save her life. So she's still cursing Contessa out, but running and calling for security simultaneously. When I fucking tell y'all, I was literally crying real tears on this part. First of all, how the fuck Jackie get on the floor? Why was Jackie crying? Contessa was in full-fledged army mode with fatigues on. Heavily ass is scary as all outdoors, but won't shut her fucking mouth. Yo, this was classic right here. I actually enjoyed this episode. Dr. Jackie took Heavenly out to the golf car. Dr. Jackie started crying, telling Heavenly, please shut the fuck up for God's sake, right? So Heavenly is still talking. Then when Jackie started crying, she told Jackie, don't do that shit. But still popping shit. They trying to calm Contessa down because she is already a renegade and she is on a platoon and there's no way to bring her back. And she's getting even more riled up because she feels like the rest of the cast only condone Heavenly's fucking antics and she's tired of it. And this is not the friend group she want to be a part of. Contessa, I call bullshit because you said the same thing the last time, which is why you left. So bitch, why you back? Anyway, this episode was a classic. I truly, truly enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up. If you do nothing else, please hit the thumbs up on this video. I'm going to put my Cash App is there on the screen. If you would love to donate, please feel free in doing so, or you can leave me a super chat. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys come back for 6 o'clock tonight Eastern time because we're doing it at 6 tonight, and we're discussing all of the hot topics. Drop down in the comment section and let me know what you thought about this episode of Married to Medicine. Enjoy your day and your holiday season.